Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, which is Food Ventures by Yolanda. Today we're going to be making some healthy fritters, and these are the ingredients. So we're going to start with kale. This is the kind of kale that I've used, and you can use any kind of kale that is available to you. You need to finely chop the kale so that it's easier to blend with the rest of the ingredients. We're also going to be using some sweet potato. So this is the orange version. So all you need to do is just boil it until it's fork tender, and then peel off the skin after it's cooled down a bit and mash it with a fork until it becomes like a paste, as you can see in this bowl. We're also going to be using quinoa. So I'm going to leave all the instructions in the description box so you know the quantities and you know how to go about preparing all of these ingredients before you actually start to make the fritters. We're going to be using oats. This is a vegan option. If you'd rather, you can also use panko, or you can use any breadcrumbs. So I've taken regular oats and just ground it in a food processor. We're also going to be using an egg, but if you prefer a vegan option, instead of egg, you can use ground flax seeds with a little bit of water. Like I said, all the instructions and the quantities will be in the description box. Salt and pepper for seasoning. I'm also going to be using about a quarter teaspoon of onion powder, garlic powder, and ginger powder as flavoring, as well as some Hungarian paprika. We're going to be using a little bit of cornstarch to help bind everything. The oat powder is also used to bind everything so that we can actually fry the fritters. I'm going to be using coconut oil to fry them. So let's get started. So as you can see, I have my mashed sweet potato in the bowl. To this, I'm going to add my quinoa. Next, I'm going to add my kale, which has been finely chopped. My ground oats, the onion powder, garlic powder, and ginger powder, pepper, salt, paprika, and I'm going to add some cornstarch. I'm using a beaten egg today. But like I said, that if you prefer the vegan option, you could use ground flax seeds with a little bit of water. We're going to give this all a good mix. You can use a spoon, spatula, or you can even use your hands if you're comfortable using your hands. This is what it looks like when it's all well blended. So before we start to actually form our fritters, let's turn on the stove. So I'm going to heat the pan on medium for a little bit. So the pan is heated. I've added about 2 of these spoonsful of coconut oil to the pan, and it's well melted now. So what we're going to do is we're going to be dipping our fingers in oil. So I've just dipped my fingers a little bit in the oil, and I'm going to start to form them. So you have options. You could just make them round. I'm going to do 2 versions, and I'll tell you why. The first version is round, as you can see, like a patty. So I'm going to make just 2 patties for now. And I'm going to make 2 of them in the form of logs. So you just take the batter or the mixture in your hand and roll them out long. 1. Yes, it does get a bit messy, but so our fritters have been frying for a bit. It's about, say, 3 minutes on each side, and I have been turning them at intervals just to make sure that they don't burn. So as you can see, they're getting a nice little golden color on the top, or a dark brown. So we just fry them for a couple of minutes more, and then we'll drain them off on a kitchen towel and let them cool for a bit before we take a look at how we can serve these fritters. I have a couple of options for you, and a couple of options with sauces and dipping sauces. So we can look at that in a little bit. So as you can see, they've got a nice color to them. So I'm going to turn off the stove right now, and I'm going to take them off onto a onto a plate to drain. So I've turned off the stove and we're just going to let these cool down for about 5 minutes, and I'll be back with you to share some different ways in which you can serve these. Okay, so our fritters are now nice and cool. So serving options. So I did say that I made them, some of them round and some of them more like logs. So these are the logs. And just in case you were wondering what kind of sweet potato I used, well, this is about the size of the sweet potato I used for the quantity of the mashed potato that I got into the mashed potato that I used in this recipe. Okay, so like I said, I'd share with you some serving options. So one option is you can have them just like this plain. You can also dip them in sour cream, or you can make a little mix, a little dip with this is about 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise and 1 teaspoon of sriracha sauce. If you like it spicier, you can add a bit more of the sriracha sauce. You can also serve it with something like this. This is Maggi hot and sweet sauce, which is something that I enjoy them with. Or something like this, which is Heinz honey mustard. So I did say that I was going to serve them in 2 different ways. So the other way is I'm going to make it a burger bun. So this is burger bread, and we're going to spread a bit of the mix that we made, or the dip that we made, onto your burger bread. I know you're probably thinking this is a lot of the dip, but just bear with me for a minute. This is what I do. Just place it over, give it a gentle press, and now you have it on both sides. To this we're going to add a little bit of lettuce. You can add more if you want, as per your preference. We're going to add some tomato or tomato, however you say it. A few onion rings. If you like cheese, you could add a slice of cheese or 2 over it. And a patty. On the top of this, if you want, you can add a little bit of the hot and sweet sauce. Just a dash. There you go. Let's not waste these 2 onion rings. And there you have it. Our sweet potato, kale and quinoa burger. So, like I said before, 2 ways of serving it. One is in the form of logs, or you could just have them in rounds as well, or square, however you feel like shaping them, and eat them either plain or with a dip or with a sauce. Plain ketchup will do too, a sour cream, and your burger. So I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. For those of you who have already subscribed to my channel, thank you very much. For those who haven't, if you like this video, I would appreciate it if you could subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Also share this recipe with friends and family, anybody who you think would enjoy something like this. And I'd appreciate your feedback, so please use the comment section to leave feedback for me. And I read it pretty often, and I will respond to your comments as soon as I can. Any suggestions or tips on how I can get better would also be appreciated. So until my next recipe, this is Food Ventures by Yolanda. Once again, thank you for watching.